Google announced that they are shutting down their first-party development studios in Montreal and Los Angeles for Stadia. No games ever launched from these developers, so it's unfortunate because that work, whatever they were doing, is gone to waste at this point, and now 150 people are out of jobs. So that's a terrible thing, but now's the time you need to pay attention to Stadia because it's only going to get better from here. Making games is really expensive. We're talking millions and millions and millions of dollars to make and market the biggest games that you know of. And so now that money is no longer tied up in actually trying to make a game, because I doubt Google was trying to make this small game with somebody like Jade Raymond on the team, you expect something to take millions and millions of dollars, if at least to market the game, right? So with that money freed up, now they can focus on getting publishers to put their games day and date onto the platform. Now, I'm not saying Stadia has 0 games that are worth playing. They do. They got Destiny 2. They got Assassin's Creed Valhalla. They got Cyberpunk 2077. They have Immortals Phoenix Rising. They have Borderlands 3. They got good games on there. But they don't have a lot of current games on there. At least judging by the front page. If you go look at the front page right now and you scroll down of all the games that they have, they don't even show all the big games that they have. They advertise that you could play the biggest games. But if I go to that front page, I see Watch Dogs and I see Watch Dogs 2. I don't see Watch Dogs Legion. I see Hitman 1 and Hitman 2. I don't see Hitman 3. So if you're going to advertise right there on your front page that you have the biggest games and you're not even showing those biggest current games on your front page, your featured page, then I'm not going to think that you have the biggest games and you're going to deter me from buying into your system. And here's the thing. Stadia didn't need first-party games. I appreciate them trying to do that because it was a logical conclusion. If we have exclusives that people want to play, then people want to come to the platform. This is what consoles have been doing for decades. It makes sense. But that's not what Stadia needed at any point. They didn't need first-party games. It was lofty, but they needed better marketing because you know what the selling point for Stadia is at this point? Play high-quality PC games without a high-quality PC. That's what you need. That's what Stadia needs to tell people because that's essentially what this thing is at this point. If you're not going to have those exclusive games, then why else buy into Stadia? Because you can play high-quality 4K 60, 4K 120 PC games without a great PC. You think about why people want these current consoles, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, because they have PC-esque type of quality. You can play games at 4K. You could play games at 60 frames per second. Some games at 120 frames per second. People feel like they're getting PC-like quality for $500. That's why a lot of people want these things because they're that so much powerful, and they don't have to invest in $2,000+ for a current PC and a future-proof PC. So now, couple that with the idea that you could keep the computer you got and all you have to do is pay $10 a month and you can play the biggest, best games on our platform. But you got to have the biggest games on the platform first, right? And so that's the biggest hurdle Stadia has to get over. There was a building that I worked for. It was an after-school program, and it was closed thanks to COVID. But basically, we wanted to get more kids in there. And I thought one of the biggest deterrents for kids coming into the building, it was bland. The technology was old. It was drab, the brown colors and things like that. Consoles were outdated. Now, it did have some good stuff. We had a great pool table. We had a great ping pong table, foosball table, things like that. Had a great backyard to play soccer in. You could play basketball. So there was some good stuff. But was that enough to get people to stay? I didn't think so. But on the other side, they were like, well, we can't invest in better stuff, a better looking building, if we don't have people buying memberships. Logical point. This is what Stadia has to deal with. they need more people. If publishers want to put their stuff on there, they're going to expect people to actually play the games, because a lot of these games are going to be selling microtransactions, right? So if people ain't buying those microtransactions on the platform, then why be on the platform, especially if they ain't got no people? Now, in the case of Google, I think they have the ability to tell publishers, look, we can get people. We just need your games to be on the platform first. But then Stadia has to do a better job at marketing why you should buy into the platform. And I feel like it sells itself, and they just haven't been doing it. Play PC quality games without a great PC. Play it with a potato. Play it on your phone. Play it on your TV with the Chromecast Ultra. Whatever you got. It's probably Android related. I don't know if this stuff works on iOS. I don't pay attention to Stadia that much. But now I am going to pay a little bit more attention, because with more money funneled into the idea that we're going to use it for publishers to come onto the platform, Stadia might improve. Not to mention, it's $5 less than Game Pass Ultimate, which that costs $15, and that's the only way you can take advantage of xCloud. So for $5 less, you could play on it's a comparable platform. It's not like Stadia's trash, but their offerings aren't great. There's not a lot of reason to use it, and there's not a lot of people playing on it. So if you're playing something like Destiny 2, matchmaking is going to be pretty difficult up until crossplay is available. So this is the uphill battle that Stadia has to play. But Stadia is in a better place now than it was yesterday. And that's the point. And I think if you are interested in getting into the PC ecosystem, Stadia might be the thing to look into now, because you actually might not even have to get into the PC ecosystem. Somebody's already doing it for you. And if you're not interested in getting into the console ecosystem and switching over your console every 5 to 7 years and dealing with the backwards compatibility issues and whatnot, granted, this generation's doing a lot better with it, but you understand what I'm saying. If you're not interested in that, here you go. Stadia might be here for you, but only if Stadia is able to actually convey that message to you and then deliver on it. Otherwise, yeah, Stadia's done. If you enjoyed this video, please tap that thumbs up button. Also, consider subscribing so you can see gameplay of great new games, as well as keep up with what's happening in games through this show. My name is Anthony Shelton. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later.